Good morning. I'm Inga Cotton, and I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms. And this morning, I'm online for a Charter Moms chat. And I try to come online around this time every weekday morning and talk about issues that parents are facing now that the campuses are closed and our kids are learning from home. And meanwhile, everything else seems to be closed. So it creates interesting challenges, and I want to share kind of what my family is experiencing and respond to ideas and questions that have come up in the San Antonio Charter Moms discussion group. And if you're not already a member, I hope you will join. We're up to over 6,400 members, and the group's been very active lately as we're all sharing ideas and um, solutions for making the most out of distance learning, and also ways we can support our community, especially families who um, are experiencing the digital divide and having a harder time accessing resources that some of us are. So the topic that I wanted to talk about today is touch typing. Um, that's something we tackled this weekend, was getting started on helping my kids learn typing. Um, and then I was thinking, well, how am I going to talk about typing for 15 minutes? But it's an example of something where we're wanting to, uh, try to find, we want some good to come out of this, right? I mean, this is a really difficult experience. It's affecting a lot of families, but it does create opportunities for your kids to come out of this with new skills. John Townsend says, "Good morning." Good morning, John, and say hello to your family. So I also kind of want to sort of set the setting. So today is Monday, April 20th, and I hold on to my calendar for dear life, because even though sometimes the days feel like they blend into each other, um, it helps to mark the time and to think about, what are our goals and what we've accomplished. Um, so let's see, what's new in today. Okay, so April 19th is a special day in the Charter Moms world, because that is our blogversary. Our first blog post was published on April 19th, 2012. So yesterday marked the 8-year anniversary of San Antonio Charter Moms, and it's amazing to me the journey that we've been on, and how our community has grown, and how our mission has evolved. And we've become a nonprofit, and we have a board of really special people. We have a team like my assistant Laura, and our group moderator Becca, and our social media consultant Amy, and our team that works at events. And well, when we can have events, we will again. And so that's special to me. So over the weekend we marked our 8-year blogversary, and sometimes you'll see me post on the 19th of the month, kind of a little reminder. So the 19th is a special day because of the commemorates the blogversary of San Antonio Charter Moms. Trying to think what else is new. Okay, so today's the 20th. Today is when the state parks reopen. So I'll share that link in the group, but it has to be by reservation, and there's restrictions. Like, you have to wear a face mask at the parks, and it's limited to groups of 5. So I know some large families that are kind of going in shifts. um, and it's also the start of when masks are required in public in San Antonio. So the idea is that with coronavirus, there's lots of people who are sick and don't know it yet, and or are sick and just never get any symptoms. And if those people wear masks, they're less likely to spread the virus to other people. Um, so the safest thing of all is to do social distancing and stay home. But if you need to be out for something essential, then wearing a mask while you do it will protect people around you. And now it's required in San Antonio, so at least for the time being. And we had a thread in the group of lots of suggestions of like local makers who are just like moms with their sewing machines, or kids with their sewing machines, or local businesses that have transitioned to making masks. And so join the group. You can find ways to get a mask, or patterns or techniques on how to make your own masks. So that if you do need to go out in San Antonio, you'll be complying with the wear a mask order. So let's see, that's what's going. It is a beautiful spring day, and I hope you get a chance to like walk around your neighborhood, or maybe look for teddy bears or rainbows in windows, or things like that. So for us, Monday is start of a new school week, and that means logging into Google Classroom. Or actually, we had trouble logging into Google Classroom for my son, and we're asking the admin to reset the password. I guess after this, I'll check my email and see if I got the login for that. But there's a backup. We were able to access the remote learning website and download the packet, so he's able to get some work done until we can actually log into Google Classroom. So he's not wasting time. Actually, right now my kids are having what we call recess. So at the 9 o'clock hour when I'm online, they go outside so I can have a little quiet time in the house. So they're in the backyard. Um, but yeah, so hiccups with Google Classroom. I thought I was good at technology, and then life happens. Um, and partly it's that my son's old laptop died, and so he got a hand-me-down laptop, and but that means setting up all the logins again. So yay. But first world problems because at least he does have a computer to get his work done on, and yeah, we'll find a way to make it work. So that's yeah, well, yeah. So Google Classroom issues. That's why I was a little later starting the video today. But oh, and I drove by my kid's school and turned in their paper packets from last week. So last week they were using Google Classroom, but I just wanted like kind of a belt and suspenders approach. So even though like they were submitting their stuff online and I tried to check and make sure everything got turned in, but I just thought, just in case, we'll turn in paper packets. I'm sure for the teachers, they'd probably rather have it be online because anything paper that we turn in has to like sit for 24 hours to be decontaminated. Although I know they're working really hard. We're starting to get grades back from, or well, evaluations back from the first week of distance learning. So that was like not the first, but the second week after spring break. So, but I think things are kind of on kind of a pass fail basis, I guess, at least for the lower school. I don't know. That's one thing, grading in these times is it's kind of iffy. So, to me, what's more important is, well, this goes back to my friend Dr. Shay, Tawana Chambers, who works at Compass Rose, and Shay is brilliant, and I've learned so much from her. And one of the key things was the importance of mastery and competency based evaluation. That sometimes grading is not the most important thing. The most important thing is, did they get the concept and they have it really locked down before you move on to the next thing. So um, when I see my kids like working hard and grappling with the material and completing their stuff, they're still reading and thinking and asking questions and using their handwriting and using their spelling and things like that. Um, I see the effort that goes into it, and I see the what they're turning in, and regardless of what the evaluations are, I know that they are working towards mastery, and I also know we all need to just do the best we can under these circumstances. And, um, there will be a process of kind of evaluating and, once school buildings reopen, evaluating, kind of figure out where the gaps are and, helping kids get back on track. And you know, we'll just do the best we can. I do see my kids have a sense of pride of what they're creating, and that the fact that they're like reaching and stretching and they're reading good stuff. I think it's good for their well-being. And we're watching movies and we're playing outside and we're cooking, and my daughter made brownies yesterday. There was definitely some math involved with the brownie making, but those having some structure in the day, it helps because yeah, this is going on for a while, and we got to make it count. So okay, but I did really mean to talk about typing today, and I will. But I want to give. I thought this is something that's been kind of on our wish list for a long time. And okay, so both of my kids are enrolled at Code Ninjas, which is it's a like private franchised education program for coding, and there's locations all around the north side. I wish there was one closer to me, closer to downtown, but we drive out to the one on the northeast side. At least we did. And they would go every week and do a couple hours of coding, and they'd work with sensei, right? So it's a it's a whole dojo theme. They would get coaching from young adults who have more experience with coding, and it's a program we really like. So anyway, Code Ninjas is transitioning to a virtual system, but one of the things they did at Code Ninjas was keyboarding. And so the idea is, so my kids, they can use a computer, but they're hunt and peck with the keyboard. And I'd like them to get to the point where they can touch type, because it's just one of those skills that, I mean, I've heard, gosh, I think maybe it was oh gosh, was it maybe it was Mike Morath, education commissioner? I think I remember him saying that that was one thing he came out of his K through 12 education that has really served him in life. Mike Morath, if that was not you, I apologize, but that's my somewhat erratic memory pins that on you. So if that wasn't you, I apologize. But um, really, sometimes those skills, it just if it helps you get information into the computer faster, helps you write faster, helps you with coding, all kinds of things. That's just a really good life skill, and I feel like my kids are a good age to learn it. They're 10 and 12 years old. I think you can start even with younger kids. I think even kids as young as 8 can get a pretty good handle on it. Maybe younger. I don't know. You tell me if you have a younger kid who's mastering, and even if they're in high school and they still haven't got a handle on it, I think this is still a good time to do it. And yeah, so they would do it at Coninjas. That was only about once a week, and I worried that the frequency wasn't high enough to really get a handle on it. Um, so this is the time, like it's like if not now, when, right? Maybe you've seen the memes of like, you always claimed that you were just too busy to clean your house, and maybe that wasn't the issue, right? So yeah, guilty. Yeah. So, but no, we do have time, and so my husband and I looked at different typing programs. We've had a thread going in the discussion group, and I'll share the links there again. So, um, like I've collected kind of recommendations over the years of different websites or software you could purchase. And there's free stuff that's actually pretty good. So so I'll share the list of links in the group in the SA Charter Models discussion group. Um, I don't think it matters that much which program you pick. I think it's more a matter of having consistency of using it. So we're gonna do like a modified version of kind of our chore chart. We have a chore chart that it's just for taking out the trash and watering the plants. It's really simple, but it has a list of check boxes, and it's a way, um, you know, I mean, I've heard my edgy nerd friends who's basically like, if you measure it, that shows you care about it. If you care about it, measure it, right? Data, it's about accountability, right? So if you have something you can visualize, so basically there's gonna be a bunch of check boxes, and we'll shoot for about 5 sessions a week of about 20 minutes of practice. And if you just put in the time, and like having like one marathon session isn't gonna help you learn it as well as like lots of little sessions. Um, so so I think, okay, what else? Oh, so I bought a little gizmo that kind of fits over the laptop keyboard, and it obscures the letters on the keys. And that's I think that's going to make a big difference. So, but there's kind of DIY. I mean, there's little stickers you can put on the letters. There's like, oh gosh, I mean, back when I learned to type, it was on an electric typewriter, not a manual. It actually was electric, but it was not a computer. It was an IBM Selectric. I think it had the little ball that spins, right? You remember those? Those were cool. That's how you would change your typeface, right? You pluck the ball out, put a new ball in, new font. um, and I think we had like a box that would fit over the keys, and that was how I couldn't cheat. Um, yeah, it's learning to type is humbling because like no matter how smart you are, it's a motor memory thing, right? Being smart doesn't help. You just got to put the butt in the chair and spend the time. But guess what, guys? We have time. So so I encourage all of you, if your kids are in the right age range, to get them practicing with typing. So I'll post the links in the group of some different typing programs. If you have more ideas, please add it to the list, and tell us how you are kind of supervising or kind of incentivizing your kids um, to do the typing. And I hope that maybe in a month or so I can give you guys an update about typing speed or accuracy, or like how I want this to unlock their creativity for whether it's coding or creative writing, or if they want to start their own blog or YouTube channel or whatever. Like I want them to have skills that'll unlock their creativity and lots of possibilities for them. And we're stuck at home. We might as well make the most of it. And actually, for my kids' school, typing is not something they cover in the curriculum. So it's something that always comes up in summer or breaks, and like in the parent groups who are like, "Hey, who's doing typing? What program are you using?" I know some schools do cover it in the curriculum, and that's great. I think coding is really important to me. It's kind of our we have a lot of family members who do that for a living, and I really think it's the future. So Youth Code Jam is an organization that has lots of resources that if you are wondering, what is the impact of computer science? What is the job market like for people who know how to code? There are schools in town that do an excellent job of introducing coding in the curriculum, right? So like Harmony and SST are and Compass Rose all have a heavy STEM element in their curriculum. So, but I'm a big believer that everyone should learn how to code, but I also want my kids to learn how to type too. Um, so yeah, those are my thoughts about typing, and I hope it helps unlock some possibilities for your kids as well. So let me talk about what's coming up. Okay, so the topic we'll cover next tomorrow is um, this is coming up in the group, and I think Becca, our moderator, and I have gotten messages from folks about this. Since there's so much uncertainty about what the fall will look like, if schools reopen, will we still be practicing social distancing? I think families are thinking they might just transition to homeschooling for the 2020-2021 school year. So, I think let's talk about that. So, and I'll post a little prompt in the group asking for your input. What are you thinking about it? Are you kind of weighing the pros and the cons of that? How can you start if that is the transition you want to make? How do you equip yourself now to be prepared for it? Because we don't know what the future holds, but we can just do our best to plan with the information we have. So, all right. Well, I hope you've learned something about typing. I hope you feel ready to take on the day. And I'll be online tomorrow. See you in the discussion group.